Seattle on the Sunny Side. Written by TheAstralTourist. When I became aware I was astral projecting, I saw I was inside an airport. I knew I was astral projecting, but I was still regaining my lucidity. Too bad I forgot to say, "Clarity now!" It may have helped. I could feel I was tired from astral projecting all night as I walked up to a small desk. In this airport, various people had individual desks, spread around as many were only offering private flights versus ones for larger groups. I asked about booking a flight home, when the next flight would be to my area, and with whom it would be. Astral logic at work here. The man I was beginning a conversation with had tanned or medium-toned brown skin, short messy brown hair, and what looked like a bit of mud or oil smudged on his face. I felt pretty reassured since he was conveying some massive flying experience with an image like that. He wasn't afraid to get dirty on the astral plane. He began talking about the name of his airline. It was a long word beginning with B, which I had no hope of pronouncing. He explained he inherited the ability from his ancestors, and how one got the idea to begin an airline, transportation helping others in the spiritual realms, many thousands of years ago. As he continued telling me about the various exploits of his ancestors on the astral planes, I began to think he only wanted to talk about flying instead of actually flying anywhere. I tried to be patient as time wore on. When I realized he wasn't about to stop talking, I interrupted him to ask if there were actually any flights left at all. He answered there was one to Southeast Asia now, but that it was a long way to go and people were ill there. I reminded him that we can't get sick here inside the astral plane and that I could make it home from Southeast Asia just fine on my own if he was ready to go. As I suspected, he was wishing I'd have said no. I explained I love the scenery and mountains there. I haven't been to Asia in waking life, but I have been a few times in the astral, and it was absolutely beautiful. I'd love to see it again in the astral, if only passing through for a few moments. Well, at that, he launched into another story about one of his ancestors' visits there. At that point, I said, "Don't worry about it," and began to look for another transport desk. A tall, thin man with a curly mustache and a warm smile approached me. Telepathed to me that he managed the place and asked me what the problem was. He never gave me a name, but let's call him Mr. M for manager. I explained about the nice man with the many ancestors who was all talk but no flying. Mr. M said that the man had been flying for many years, probably just got too tired and lost his focus to actually fly. Better that than flying and losing your concentration. By now, I was getting even more lucid myself, so I understood. I asked about other flights. Mr. M thought I'd have better luck if I stayed in the city for another day. Then he was nice enough to refresh my memory about how I'd been there plenty of times before. He put his arm around me and leaned in closer so I could hear his thoughts better. He said, "You'll remember when you see it. You call this place the sunny dimension of Seattle. All sunshine, no drizzle. You usually stay at our beautiful hotel and go sightseeing. You don't have to wake up for a while. Why not stay another day? Or two?" While he talked about the hotel, I remembered being there before. Waves of familiarity rolled over me like warm water and sunshine. Mr. M and I smiled and laughed a bit as he finished walking me to the airport exit door. I emerged on a busy street and had to ask someone where the hotel was located. I told her I'd forgotten the name and showed her a mental picture. She pointed straight ahead and indicated mentally that it was about 4 to 5 blocks up on the left and called the World Hotel Seattle. On my way there, I slipped into a deep sleep again. In another, much shorter astral projection, I was with a group of people touring a lush green countryside that had pastry stands scattered about. There was a heart-shaped one I wanted at one of them. I suspected I might be lucid dreaming by then, but it was all too real and I couldn't change the colors of things like in a lucid dream. The person behind the counter found something wrong with the pastry I wanted before handing it to me and suggested something fresher. I went with a small, round donut that had just been made. Unfortunately, my sense of taste isn't that great on the Astral. All I can remember about it is a gentle, pleasant feeling. Then I woke up. The end.